All right, hello and welcome to this practical module where I'll show and guide you through step by step on how to build up the perfect campaign structure when the goal is to scale from $5,000 to 1 million. At this stage, you should have found your product market fit. You should have been researching on your ICP, your competitors, the different reviews and the comments from the internet, so you know exactly which pain points and desires your ICP resonates with. Now it's time to scale it up without dropping performance, losing sight of your CAC, ROAS, and of course your profits. I also want to note that it varies extremely from case to case, brand to brand, and how your situation looks like. If you have more product categories, different segments, and other strategy in terms of branding long term, and if you have more countries and therefore different languages, it might be slightly different. But besides that, this is the foundation of setups. This is the essential. So let's get into it. For this specific showcase and campaign building, I've chosen a random but really nice kitchen brand named Hvordan and Thor, a well-doing Swedish company, because then I can here cover a lot of different elements and marketing angles, because we both have the direct-to-consumer performance marketing angle and the long-term branding perspective. As said previously, at this stage, we have been doing our ICP research in terms of what the potential customers react and convert on. We have made our hypotheses, and now we're going to test them and scale the winners to our scaling campaign. So let's first set up our ASC, our Advantage Shopping campaign and performing campaign with the right technical setup. So we're going to click on the create, the sales objective, the continue, of course. It is really important that we also keep a great amount of focus of the naming of the campaigns, ad groups, and later on also the ads as well, because this will help us later on the process where we are going to deep into the different campaigns in terms of the data analysis. So we're going to call this ASC scaling. We're going to name the country we are targeting, which in this specific case is Denmark. We're going to name it the audience, which here is a 90% cold and 10% warm. So for the conversion and tracking, we're choosing website. We are choosing the Hvordan and Thor pixel and the conversion purchase event. We are choosing Denmark for the location. And then here we are going to define our audience, and also not to define our audience. We're going to exclude some people from this campaign, so we don't keep pouring spend and advertising money into our existing and current customers, because they are likely going to convert anyway, and we're also going to build a specific and tailored remarketing campaign for this segment, so we can tailor our ad copy and our product recommendation the best way possible. So you can see it is already defined because I have just been testing it, but the way you're doing it is that you are clicking manage in advertising settings here. You are jumping in here in the audience segments. You are clicking on the existing customers here, create a custom audience, or website, next. And here you are again going to choose the right Hvordan and Thor pixel. We're going to add 3 different segments here. The first is all website visitors. We are going to exclude 60 days of retention. The add to cart, we're going to exclude 40 days of retention, and the purchase we're going to exclude is 100 days of retention. Again, it is really important that we name and put the info from this into the name of the audience, so we always can keep a structure and organized setup of our campaign. So we're going to name this web 60, ATC, which is add to cart 40, and the purchase 100, of course. This way, we are excluding normal visitors the last 60 days. the add to cart segment the last 40 days, and the purchase segment the last 100 days. So we can keep, again, as said before, pouring ad spend into new customers, and thereby also expanding our sales funnel. Then we are going to click Create Audience, Done, and Confirm. I'm going to close this again. And then when you are at the daily budgeting, it is actually also here we are going to define our customers and our targeting, because as you can see, we have here an option for existing customer budget cap. Set a maximum budget percentage to spend on your existing customers. We likely spend less than the percentage you've set, but we'll aim to spend more. And here we are going to put in 10%. So as we named the campaign, we are spending 90% on cold and 10% on the warm as well. And at this point of your journey, when you are spending more than $5,000 a day, we want to keep the audience targeting broad, and I will also get more into that when we are going to put up our manual testing campaign. So this is actually it for the technical aspect of the scaling campaign. As this is a demo account, we haven't been testing, but let's say we have been doing some manual testing for different categories, videos, images, and so on. We are going to name it like this. Let's say we have been testing videos, we just put it B. We are going to call it winning because we have been duplicated from a winning testing campaign. We're going to call it what the category is, so it could be cooking, and then we're going to name what the product was. It could be X product. We're also going to write down what the copywriting was. It could be copywriting 1, which also was a winning element of our testing round. And again, a landing page L1, also a winning landing page, which we have been testing in our manual testing campaign, which I will get into more just in a second. So this is the way of naming the different ads. So when we go into the ASC on a daily basis, we can look directly in a holistic view and see which ads are performing, which ads needs to be turned off, and which ads needs to be scaled and make more angles of it, and which ads is also going to hit the ad fatigue, which we addressed in the previous module. So this was just an example of the winning campaign. It's hard to go more in depth when we don't have winning creatives from the testing, which I will go into now. So for the manual campaign, the manual testing campaign, we're going to set up this on a different process. We're going to choose sales again as the campaign objective, but we're going to choose manual sales campaign. In here, we're going to put a lot of different marketing angles, types of creatives, products, etc. on a weekly basis to keep testing on a large volume. We are here, depending on your current scale, of course, going to test between 20 to 60 different creatives a week, so we can get a better understanding of your ads performance, tailor the best performance better and better, and avoid the nasty ad fatigue. So the manual here will set up different categories and with different elements in each on one of them. It is important to have in mind that we want to separate videos and images because Meta have a tend to prioritize videos more than images. So if you put, for example, 2 images and 2 videos in a testing dynamic creative, you would in most cases actually spend 80 to 90% on the video material without knowing if your images would have been outperforming them. So it is important, as we also spoke about in the previous module, to keep one category per ad set, so it is more quality based data you're looking at, and you can also get a better holistic view on which type of marketing angle performs the best. So let's break some of them down one by one. The first one, or from the campaign perspective, we're going to call this manual testing performance. Because it is a testing, we're going to call it the APO, so we get spent on all the angles we're going to get through on this one. And again, we want to define our existing customers, just like previously in the ASC campaign. So for the first one, we're going in here, and we want to test and get some data on our product catalog. And here we can actually do this multiple ways. So we write T1, which is test 1. We're going to write product catalog, and we're going to write APO again, of course. Not the APO, the manual creatives, because this is not a dynamic creative. This is a manual one, because we can't test the catalog with dynamic creatives. So again, we're going to choose maximize number of conversion always. Unless we can choose this value. We're going to choose the right pixel. We're going to choose purchase again on daily budget, whatever your budget is at. We're going to choose Denmark. And for the advantage audience, we're going to keep it broad and open again, because if you are at $5,000 a day, your algorithm is extremely clever, and your algorithm knows exactly who to target with your material. So here we're going to choose Morgan and Thor again, and we click next. So for the first one, we call it C1. It is catalog 1. We're going to call it all products. Here we're going to choose catalog, carousel here. And the catalog we're going to choose is the Morgan and Thor catalog here. So you can see now we have pulled our catalog here. And now we're going to put in some copy and some headlines. I have just created a ad copy in a different document, which I'm going to put here. Just going to tailor it so it fits the format here. Then we're going to choose a headline. We all 90% of times here going to choose the product name here. In the website URL, we're just going to get the front page, because in this type of creative and this type of advert, we will link directly to the product page, because it is product based from the catalog. So the website URL here. And the tracking fits as well. Just going to check everything, of course. The next test is another type of catalog. We're going to name it single. And instead of a carousel, we click on the single one here. And as you can see, it just shows a single creative instead of a carousel. And let me just get a copy that is tailored for this as well. So for this one, we're going to put in a different type of copy. So we tailor it directly to the type of format. So we're going to name it like this. Let me just make the right format here. We're saying bestseller. Have you seen our popular? And then we make it like this, the popular product name. I can just make these in English as well. But yeah, you can see it's a different type of format, because you are tailoring the copy straight to the product that you are showcasing. So here it says, have you seen our popular Axia, salt and peppercorn? And also the color the product is. So it's a more tailored type of ad, but it often really performs extremely well if you have the right copy and the right target audience and the right foundation in terms of product images and videos and so on. So the next type of format for the catalog is you might have guessed it, the collection. So we're going to click collection here. We're going to click write collection up here, delete the copy. Here we are in this case going to create a destination. So you click here on the create new, you click storefront. Then we're going to find the same catalog here as well. We're going to click all products. You can choose between it to be a dynamic video, a video that you choose yourself, which would be a great idea if you have some nice branding videos that you can combine with some product focus. You can also do that with a image. In this case, we're just going to keep it dynamic. You can make shop bestsellers from Hvordan and for. I actually think that's too long. Bestsellers here. Again, we're going to put in the correct URL because this is again product based. If you're going to click on this one, you're going to the product page for the specific product. Going to click done here. And here we can just take the text from this one and put it in here. Shop bestsellers from Hvordan and Thor here. It looks like this. Alright, so that is the first thing we're going to test, the different type of formats within the product catalog as a category of testing. The next one we're going to test is another kind of format. So we duplicate this one. We write T2 for test 2. We're going to write cooking videos because that is the marketing angle here. And we're going to write DC because it's dynamic creative. And we're going to write product bomba. All right. So we're going to click off the dynamic creative here. So we can test lots of videos, lots of copywriting ad copies, and lots of headlines without fragmenting the algorithm and the budget too much. We want to consolidate as much as possible, so the algorithm has the best possibilities to perform and allocate the creatives the best possible way. So we're going to put all of this in a dynamic creative. See, as it makes like this. Restart today, and again we want to keep this broad. Want to keep this broad and broad here. And then for this one, we're going to name it V because it is videos. We're going to name it cooking. We're going to name it hook. I can't really remember how many hooks it was, but just different hooks. 1, 2, 3. And copy 1, 2, 3 as well. So here we're going to select images. We're going to write bomba here. As you can see, we have a hook 1, a hook 2, hook 3, and again hook 1, 2, and 3, just with the right format in terms of the feed format. Then we're going to click continue. So you can see here we have 3 videos for the 4x5 dimension, the 4x5 format, which is tailored to the feed format, and we have the 900x, the 1080x 920 for the story format. So we're going to split test between 6 different videos on different formats, and we're also going to test different hooks and different copies as well. So let me just get some copy for this. Alright, so also as you can see how we named it, we have 3 different hooks and we have 3 different copies as well. So we're going to put in the first copy here. We're going to copy that as well and make it again here, so we don't split test on a completely different copy, because this test is purely and most important for the types of format, but also for the different hooks that we're going to split test on. So we don't want to keep a completely different testing format with 3, 4, 5 different hooks and also 3, 4, 5 different ad copies. It will get too messy when we're going to analyze and find the winner. So we're just going to keep it very slim and make somehow the same copy, just without USPs, for example. And again, this one where we just get it extremely shortly, like this. So here we split test on the length of the copy and not the message or the headline or some kind of that. So for the headline, we're going to put in another one. Just a second. Going to put in this one, and if you're seeing this from a English perspective, this means experience perfection in your kitchen with the Bomba pan, 5 layers of Italian steel quality. For this one, we're also going with a description. This could be 1, 2, 3 days delivery, and because we have this in Danish. And again, for the website URL, this is completely product based. We're going to only showcase the product named Bomba. So instead of sending all of this traffic related to this product to the front page, we're going to find the specific product here. So we're going here, search for Bomba, find it here. We're going to put in the link here as well. And we are double checking that the website are working, the tracking are working as well. So everything is good. Now we're going to test the next round of testing. So we're clicking duplicate as well, test 3. We have more cooking videos, just with another product, also with, again, different hooks. So we can determine what product the target audience reacts the best on in terms of cooking videos, but also which hook gets them to stop scrolling the best possible way, the hook rate, which we also dive into deeper later in this module. So this is test 3, again, cooking videos, and again, dynamic creative. This product for this round is a Axia grinder. So we are having these settings once again. We don't want to change anything here because then it isn't a correct split test. Then we're going into the video section here. Again, we have video format, we have cooking, we have 3 different hooks, and we have 3 different copies. We just forgot actually to put in Axia here, and we're also in this one going to put the Bomba. All right. So let's just remove this one from the Axia advert. So we're going to delete all of these. Select videos, Axia. Then you can see again we have hook 3 just with a different format. Hook 1 again, hook 2. So we choose all of the correct ones here. We have 6. Then we click continue. Then I will just find some copywriting for this as well in a different document. So for this one, we're just going to delete these 2, and then we're going to put in the copies tailored specific for the Axia. Here you can see bestseller Axia, salt and peppercorn. And then we're going to copy this. Again, the same module as before, where we delete the bread text here. And again, to make it completely shortened down, like this. Then I will just also put in the headline here, which fits exactly the product we are showcasing. And again, we can keep the description, 1 to 3 days of delivery. And again, we want to put the link specifically to the product instead of front page, because this advert is specifically tailored to this product. So we're going to put that in here. The same process again, going to duplicate this one. This is the test 4. Again, cooking videos, and again, dynamic creatives. This time it will be a alpha product. And we're going again to test 3 different hooks and 3 different copies. So the process is extremely the same. Did I do it on this one? Yeah, product alpha here. And then we're going to delete these ones. Select video, going to write alpha. And the process is really simple from here. We're going to choose these ones. And then I will just find you a copy. Just a second. And again, as before, we're going to delete these ones and make a copywriting, a copy, advert copies tailored specifically to the product. So I'll for the perfect for pasta and wok. Going here, and again, the same module as before, just like this. I'm also going to tailor a headline specifically for this product as well. So, going to put in the headline, and once again we're going to link specifically to the product like this. So now we have 4 different campaigns that we are testing on with different categories and different marketing angles and different products. We also want a 5th one because we have videos, we have product catalogs, and now we also need static images. So the process is the same. We're going to duplicate this one. Going to write test 5. This is a static image. It is of course still dynamic creative. This is the axia with bullet points. So for this one, we are going down here again. We're clicking static image, the axia. We have 3 different copies, but because this is an image, we don't have 3 different hooks. All right, and of course it's B for billede, which in English means image. Just write I here, image. Here we're going to delete these ones. Going to select images. See if we can pull this through. Tabs here. We have this one. Normally I would also get a 9:6. Don't think I have uploaded that. Let me just find it for you. Yeah, we're also going to upload the 916 format, so we can tailor this to the story and reels format as well. Not reels because it's not a video, but the story format. And like the others as well, we want to tailor a copy specific for these for this product. So we're going into the axia up here. We're going to copy this one. We're going down to the T5. Going to put it in here. And again, like before, the process is exactly the same. We're going to remove the bread, and we're going to make it extremely short as well. And the same for the headline here. Like this. And again, also the correct URL here. Alright, now when we launch this campaign, let me just break it down holistically. When we launch this campaign, we have different tests here. You can see it just also pulls the ASC scaling, I don't know why. But when we launch this campaign and these ad groups, we want to sit extremely tight on the data, which means we are jumping into the ads manager and our other attribution and tracking tools to make data analysis on a daily basis and continuously make adjustments, of course, depending on your ad spend, of course. Let me just see if I can, the manual testing campaign that we're here. So you can see after a couple of days, we can dive right into it and look here for the metrics and determine which marketing angle and which content format performs the best. So now we have made our ASC scaling campaign and we have made our manual testing campaign, which will determine the winners. And now we're also going to make our remarketing campaign so we can convert the biggest amount possible of the traffic we pour into the sales funnel. So we're going to click the sales button, going to click the manual sales campaign again. Here we are going for the use catalog option here. We're going to find again the Hvordan for here. I'm going to click next. Let's just name it first we're going to write the DPA here, dynamic product, and then we're going again always maximize number of conversions. We're going to write VC20, VC 40 plus ATC 60. All products always, so we keep our remarketing as broad as humanly possible. These numbers, of course, determine on how your sales funnel and customer acquisition journey looks like. If you have a more pricey product, the numbers would be bigger, and if you have an impulse product which is low in cost, it would of course be lower. So we're going to retarget ads to people who interacted with your products on and off Facebook. We're going to choose the custom combination. We're going to choose 40 viewed and the 60 added to cart, and also the purchased 100 here, so we don't spend too much on these. We want to exclude and not include other audiences as well, because we want this to be purely warm audiences and retargeting, so we can tailor the copy and tailor the product recommendation the best way possible. So we go into the sales funnel here. We call this dynamic remarketing 1 and C1 for copy 1. And the copy, I will just make something up real quick. It could be just for you. We have at Hvordan and Thor collected your favorites in a basket for you. We also want to make some urgency here. On top of that, we also made you a discount for your next purchase. Below here, zoom into, use the discount code Hvordan10 and get 10% off your order. We want to make some urgency here, so we just find the timepiece ops only available within next 24 hours. And again, we want to tailor and make it specific, so the headline is just the product name here. We want to add the website URL, so you can see it says Facebook login. We just want to make it like the product name. And then we want enhancements on as well, because Facebook knows better than us what is performing and what is not. So we are all activating and clicking save here. Remember to click on the tracking, choosing the right pixel here, and then we're going to publish this one. So yeah, we have these 3 campaigns which makes up for this. Let me just tailor this one. The renaming webshop school, yes, here, save to draft, rename, save to draft, and the rename here, save to draft. Because then we can just tailor it like this. So we have our ASC scaling campaign with almost purely cold audiences, so we can pure cold traffic into the sales funnel. We have the manual testing where we'll determine the winners and the losers, and we have our dynamic remarketing, so we can convert all our traffic sources. Now, really quick, let me show you the metrics we are going to use for the data analysis and how you're going to break down the best performance. All right, so first of all, we want to make an overall holistic performance walkthrough without going into specific details for each creatives. So we click on the customize here, we click on the CTR. No, let's forget about that in the start. We're going to click the amount spent, the frequency, the adds to cart, checkouts initiated, purchases, cost per purchase, conversion value, and the ROAS here. So we're going to look for the manual testing, and we're going to look here. If the CPA, the cost per purchase, the cost per acquisition, is below your target, then you have some winning elements in your category or your marketing angle, and this is where it gets really exciting. Other than that, if the target the cost per acquisition is higher than your target, you want to get into that angle and those creatives and look for what is going wrong and how can you optimize it based on the data you're getting from your winning creatives. So let's take, for example, that our cooking videos with the product alpha was below the target CPA. We would go in here. So this is the metric we're using to analyze and break down ads separately to find the best and winning elements within it. This is where the real magic happens in terms of making the world's best creatives, because you just get a better understanding of what exactly within the ad that the ICP converts and reacts on. For example, if our hook rate is extremely good but our hold rate is bad, we know we made a good job stopping the scroll from the viewer, but a bad job making them stay on the ad. Therefore, in this example, we work on the body, the value proposition, and the storytelling of the video. I'm not going to go through them all because we already did that in the previous module. So at this point, you already have an understanding on how and when to use them. But yeah, this were it for now. I hope that you received a lot of value from the walkthrough and that you now are ready to scale your meta ads campaigns to the next level. If you have any questions or you need an external and competent look at your current setup, feel completely free to reach out to me. I will always be happy to help. Have a nice one. Bye.